Thanks for joining us for Wellness Wednesday today. Our guest today during National Adoption Month is Ashley Hall. And Ashley is an adoption recruiter and social worker 3 with Nevada Department of Human Services. Ashley, thank you for being on the program with us. I was hoping you would take just a little bit of time and tell us a little about yourself and what you do with the Nevada Division of Child and Family Services.
Yeah, so I was born in Southern California. I moved to Arizona when I was 22, and I went to NAU and got my bachelor's in social work and my master's in social work. I adopted my son, and then I became a licensing worker for foster care and adult developmental homes before I then moved to Nevada in 2020. I've now been with the division for just over 4 years as the adoption recruiter.
Well, Ashley, it sounds like of all of your wonderful credentials, probably the most significant is that you are an adoptive parent too.
I am.
Yes. So what we're talking about today is there a need for adoptive families in Nevada?
Absolutely. There is a need for families who are willing to adopt older children and teens, sibling groups, and children with medical, developmental, or therapeutic needs.
So that sounds as though special needs adoptions, right? And there have to be families out there listening now that are waiting to embrace those children.
Yeah, so all public adoptions are special needs due to age, sibling groups, as well as medical, developmental, and therapeutic needs. And that's what we deal with over here at the division is public adoptions.
And Ashley, maybe just for this segment too, what are some of the reasons children become available for adoption?
So the children come to us because their safety and well-being was assessed to be at risk, and they were placed in foster care. The children that I recruit for, their parents were unable to reunify with them, and there's no relatives or fictive kin identified to adopt them.
And Ashley, thank you for coming on our radio show today and talking about adoption during Adoption Month. So one of the questions people might have is, who can adopt?
Yeah, so people of any race, religion, socioeconomic status, sexual orientation, single or married, as long as they're 21 and older, at least 10 years older than the child that they're adopting, and they can pass a criminal and child welfare history check.
And are there different kinds of adoptions, Ashley, that might be better suited for families or individuals?
Yes, so we have public adoptions, private adoptions, and international adoptions. The division only deals with public adoptions.
Now, we've talked about fostering a lot on our radio programs, Ashley, but adoption is different, and we wanted to know how it benefits especially rural Nevada children. We know we've had a difficult time placing some children in our rural communities.
Yeah, so children in foster care need permanency. We see much better outcomes for children when they're adopted versus aging out of foster care. Children need families that they can go to even when they reach adulthood.
And this is a way that listeners can help, certainly, and to grow your family. So what about basic steps to adopt a child in Nevada?
So the first step would be to either become a foster parent or to purchase a private adoption home study. Then you can inquire about a specific child or children through one of the various websites or signing up for a program that we just started using called Family Match and creating a profile to be matched through there. Once they match with a child and the child is placed for a minimum of 6 months, then they can work on finalizing the adoption through the court system.
And that's a very exciting day for families everywhere. So Ashley, with all that in mind, can we talk more about some of the tools and resources the division is using to match children with families?
Yes, so traditionally we've always been using Adopt US Kids to post children's profiles to. That's a national website. We also use Raise the Future's website that's in a few states that also we post children's profiles to. But now we've started using the Real Hope Project. They actually, at no cost to the division, shoot recruitment videos for our youth so that way they can display the personalities and interests of these children. And then we've also recently contracted with a program called Family Match that uses Family Match uses software to match children and families based on a relational fit score. And so it takes out the bias of just a person or a team looking at a family and a child and whether or not they'd be a good fit.
Those sound like great tools and certainly something new if people are interested in exploring this option or this possibility, and of course providing hope and a future for a child in Nevada. As we're wrapping up our discussion during National Adoption Month, generating more awareness about adoption and the options available to local listeners in our community who really want to grow their family and to provide that ongoing care and consistency that children need. So, Ashley, we've talked about some of the tools and resources, the need for adoptive families, but we understand that DCFS also offers ongoing support. Is that right?
Yes, so the division offers post-adoption services. We can provide emergency therapeutic interventions along with recommendations for services to families. When a family adopts from foster care, we're always there to support them as long as they need.
And that's really good news because especially in rural Nevada, there's a lot of heart here, but it's always nice to know that there is help standing by if you need something. And what if someone listening said, it's just not the right time for me or our family, but are there ways that we can help children in Nevada if for any reason you're unable to adopt?
We would love for families to look into fostering children, just providing respite, or becoming a CASA in their local community.
CASA, that's Court-Appointed Special Advocate?
Yes.
Yes, that is a great opportunity to help. And then finally, Ashley, how can listeners learn more about the children who are available for adoption in Nevada, maybe utilizing some of the tools and the technology you described in the last break?
Yes, so they can go on the Raise the Future website or the Adopt US Kids website, or they can go to the DCFS.nv.gov website and type in the search bar, Children Available for Adoption, and we have some of our resources listed there along with children's profiles.
Ashley, thanks so much. You've been so helpful today, and we know that you've inspired families and listeners in our community. We appreciate the work that you do, Ashley, and wish you and your family, your son, the happiest of holiday seasons.